What? Are you doing season 2 of that stupid show?
Honey, where are you going?
Where are you going?
Again? Just where are you going?
Where are you going? You're not going to the bar again, are you?
You like hanging out, drinking beer at the bar, talking sports? Come on out and join us weekly. Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your podcast for just that. Hanging out, drinking some beer, talking sports. It's your boy, Hanger, looking for a beer. Actually, we're all looking for a beer, so if you want to buy the guys a beer, at Guys at the Bar Talking Sports on Venmo. That's it. Easy as drinking a beer. Welcome to Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. This is the podcast where we sit at a bar, drinking beer, and we talk sports. And that's about all we do. We like to talk sports, and we always try to bring in some special guests. We do have a special guest today. My boy Ripper over here brought somebody that's partially famous. Well, he might be a little bit famous. No, he's not really famous, but he knew a famous guy. He actually was coached by a famous guy in the past. And I don't have my notes. Damn! Oh, whoa! Look at this guy.
I messaged you. I said I was on my way. I just said you had people to fill it up and do your thing.
Well, we just had another person come in. Surprise, surprise.
Boom. That's how it happens here at Guys at the Bar.
That's how. No, this is the four of us.
Oh, okay.
So, welcome to Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, where anything can happen.
At any time.
And my boy Brookie DC just showed up. He doesn't have a beer because he just got here.
We're gonna get one.
Get that
Thank
beer.
you very much. So let's go ahead and do some introductions really fast then. Why don't we do that? And I always say we got Ripper the Predictor here. What are you drinking, Ripper?
Tonight I got a nice cold Shiner Bock.
Shiner Bock. That's the good stuff.
Good stuff.
So the weather's been pretty good, and that is the perfect kind of beer to drink in this weather.
Yeah, I think it's a good transition beer for a good transition season, I think.
Your team definitely needs a transition for sure.
We'll get to that.
Get to that. All right, so our special guest today, like I said, he's not famous.
He could be.
He could be, but he knew a famous guy. He was actually coached by the legendary Bobby Knight, coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. He's the fourth winningest coach in NCAA history, but when he retired, he was the number one, yeah. And then three of his players actually are the ones that outdid him, or something like that. Coach K and a few others, right?
I know Coach K did. I don't know if anybody else.
There's two other guys that he coached, that Bobby Knight coached.
Well, enough about that guy. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself.
So, three-time NCAA championship as well. That's pretty solid. And we got Hoosier Daddy here.
Hoosier Daddy.
Hoosier Daddy. What's up, Hoosier Daddy? What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking a cold Bud Light.
Oh, nice. That is some nice, easy drinking beer. I don't know if you noticed, but I usually drink Bud Light as well because I can't take an IPA or anything. You don't like IPAs?
Not really. I'm not an IPA person.
Okay. You like
Bud Light or Busch Light?
Busch Light. Oh, that's the good stuff.
Busch Latte.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Busch Latte. Okay. I like Natty Light over Busch Light, but I think Busch Light is a Midwestern thing.
I didn't start drinking it until Hoosier Daddy got me on it about 6 months ago, honestly.
It's a good fishing beer, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah. Very, very good.
You know what? My dad drinks Busch Light, too.
Sounds like an amazing human being.
He must be. Yeah, he's definitely a good guy for sure. And then we'll go ahead and introduce our boy Brookie DC when he gets here. But y'all know who Brookie DC is because he's on every show. And that guy's good. And we got G Boogie over there. We're trying to drag him onto the show, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it today. We still don't have him under contract. Now, we do one-time contracts for people like Who's Your Daddy, you know. It's big money, so if you ever want to be on the show, just let me know. We don't even pay for your beer while you're here. One day, right? One day. That's the goal. That's the goal. So, let's jump into one thing really quick. Lucky Lock versus Ripper the Predictor. We've been doing that last week, and I went over the results from last week already. Lucky Lock's up 3-1 over Ripper the Predictor. You're making this kid happy, man. I need you to pull some wins off this week, though, to bring it close, okay?
Hey, it's all about the kids, man. It's all about the kids.
All right, Notre Dame at Wisconsin. Ripper has Notre Dame. winning that game. Texas A&M at Arkansas. Ripper has Arkansas winning that game. Now, he was going back and forth, but and then we have Clemson at North Carolina State, and Ripper is going for Clemson on that one as well. On the other hand, Lucky Locks got Wisconsin winning 31-17 versus Notre Dame. A&M beats Arkansas 17-14, and then Clemson beats North Carolina State 26-16. We'll see how those results hash themselves out, all right? But I got my money on Lucky Lock, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think we're going to make a nice comeback here, maybe even up the series here between Lucky Lock and Ripper the Predictor. We'll see what happens.
Now, last week when you gave me your predictions, you didn't even know this was going on. So I think now you got the upper hand because you are Ripper the Predictor.
Clearly not. Clearly not.
Well, I think you were going for a couple upsets last week, and that's why you said those, and they didn't happen to pan out. Whereas my man Lucky Lock might have went a little bit safe.
They were good games, though. Good games.
They were some very good games for sure. My boy Brookie DC just shows up. What are you drinking, Brookie DC?
Grabbed a craft beer tonight. This is Dogfish Head Pumpkin Ale.
Oh.
Seasonal. It's cool outside. Why not break open a pumpkin
Oh,
beer?
and it's fall. It's officially fall.
So I'm allowed to do this.
Pumpkin beer. That's freaking awesome, man. And G Boogie, I don't have you under contract. Are you okay to talk for a minute?
Yeah, just for a second. I'm stopping by, having a little bit of vodka, chasing it with a
And a
Shiner
beer.
Bock. But I
Vodka and Shiner Bock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's phenomenal, man.
Oh,
This guy knows what he's doing.
I just wanted to tell you, congratulations on your show, man. You guys are moving up. It's been really impressive. I was talking to a couple of my friends, Tim Tebow, a few others, and they've all gotten a good listen to you and said they're proud to be here. And he was a little disappointed he didn't make that dynamic list. I will tell you that. But I do believe he deserves to be on it. So.
That was from the Facebook group, so go ahead and join that as
All
well.
right, but hey,
Thanks, G Boogie.
congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you stopping through. So, you guys remember me talking about Presbyterian College last couple weeks?
Yep, we did.
So Presbyterian College, they're a phenomenal team, supposedly. I mean, so get this. The score last week, 72-0.
And they played who? Bishop Sycamore?
No, the Camels of the Campbell Camels, right? And get this. The Campbell Camels beat them 72-0.
And this is the coach that never punts, correct?
This is the coach that never punts, that always does onside kicks, that never, all that stuff. Yeah, he always goes for it no matter what.
So Campbell just
rolled over them, yeah. Now that was their first Division 1A team that they played or something like that is what I was reading. So, that little thing will not work in the outside of high school football.
Well, it doesn't sound like Campbell ever had to punt, so...
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, ironic, I guess.
Yeah. So 72. When I saw 72-0, I was like, "Damn, that guy did it again." But then I saw, oh no, it was the Camels.
Yeah, he had it done to himself.
The Camels spit all over their face, baby. That's all. Let's jump into some real topics, though. You want to do that? You ready?
Yes.
Oh, have you met Who's Your Daddy? All right, Brookie DC.
I have not.
Who's your daddy? Okay. Let me tell you about Who's Your Daddy.
Who's your daddy? Okay, gotcha.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? Okay, I thought it was like, look, make sure it was in Indiana.
Yeah, well, he played there a couple years.
Oh, well, very cool. Very cool.
So let's hear about your story in Indiana. I'd love to hear about it. When did you play?
I went there as a freshman in 1972. I tell people I was like a bluegill amongst the pond of bass if you're into fishing.
Yeah.
I was a parade honorable mention All-American, and there were 6 All-Americans, parade All-Americans on my team in my class. It's actually still to this day the best recruiting class ever to go to IU.
Oh,
and
really?
You were part of that.
Yeah.
You were part of that.
I'm glad to be a part of it. We went to the Final Four my freshman year.
Wow.
And UCLA and Bill Walton beat us out in the semifinal game. And I can remember we played Providence. That's when they had the third place games back in '73. I sat under the basket and watched the UCLA-Memphis game. And Bill Walton set the percentage record. I think he was 21 out of 22 for the field that night.
Wow.
And then we won the Big Ten my freshman year. We were co-champs my sophomore year and played in a CCA tournament. And then that was when I ended. Coach Knight helped me transfer. I wanted to get an industrial education, so I ended up at Morehead State. I was captain there for the last 2 years and played and had a stellar career there as well. Pride myself on being academic, all OBC for 2 years. And but I really cherished the time with Indiana. And Coach Knight, I respect him like my father to this day.
Yeah, they're known for their basketball up there, man. And that's a pretty awesome story.
Who's your daddy, baby?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
And we won't tell you his real name because you might try to collect his basketball cards or something like that. I know they're worth a fortune.
I still won't play him in Pig, that's for sure.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't. So what was your position that you played?
I was a guard, 6'4" guard, yes.
Okay, wow. This is a big guy. Ripper the Predictor told me not to mess with him. He might punch me in the face. But I mean...
I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
No, I'm like a gentle giant.
That's good to be. Let's talk some action for... So I was listening back to some of the recent or the early episodes that we did, and one of the things I really liked about it is just having an open conversation, not having too much of a plan going in. So I want to do some open dialogue conversation as well tonight. I hope you're ready, because that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, let me get my notes real quick.
Yeah, let's get you your notes real quick.
I never bring notes. I'm the only one, so.
That's fine. I bring notes, and notes are good.
But you bring notes because you lead the show. I always shoot off the hip.
Well, that's fine. It's actually good and all that, but I was just there's a couple of conversations I just like to have, and that was the thing when we were first started doing the show. We would have a few open conversations, then we'd get into some meat, about what's going to go on in that week and stuff. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do a couple of these questions, and the first question I have is for my man Ripper Predictor is about to get a beer, but he has to know what we're going to be talking about. What is the best team in college football right now? Because I don't know. So I want to hear, who's your daddy? What's your opinion, man? Best team in college football right now?
I'm telling you what, it's probably a sleeper, and people won't think I know anything about football, but I think you need to look out for Texas A&M. I think they're a team that can come up and sneak up on some people as you go through this football season.
Okay.
Undefeated. I think they got a big test this week. We'll find out a lot about them. But
they definitely have a test this week, that's for sure. So, any others, do you think?
Well, of course, Alabama, which everybody, but I think they got brought down to earth a little bit last week by Florida.
They definitely did.
And some people may have realized maybe they're not quite as good as everybody had thought they were. Of course, playing at Florida was tough too, but again, you got to give them credit. They're a great team because they won at Florida.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't convincing.
It wasn't convincing. If it would have been a convincing win, then you can say, man, Alabama's going to roll for everybody because they just beat the second best team in the West or in the East. Brookie DC, you're wearing the Tennessee Volunteers shirt right now, so I'm assuming that you are going to say Tennessee is the best team in college football right now?
I'm not going to say that. I am a Tennessee fan through and through, but we're not one of the top teams in the country. For me, I tell you, I don't think it's necessarily a sleeper. I think Penn State's got something to show. I think where they're at, I think they're going to go into Columbus, and I think they're going to beat Ohio State. And I know Ripper, the predictor, is not going to like me saying that, but I think Penn State goes in and beats Ohio State, and Penn State's a force to reckon with. I will say that Alabama may have got brought back to earth, but I will also say that Alabama has a brand new offensive coordinator who's still got to work out his kinks with a brand new quarterback and brand new players. So to say that Florida and Alabama are that close, I disagree with that. No offense, my man. I see you staring at me. But I think Alabama is just as good as they always are. As they get stronger throughout the year, they're going to be tough. But I think Penn State's a team to watch, and I agree with Who's Your Daddy. I like Texas A&M as well. I think they're a dangerous team. And honest to goodness, right now, you can't discount Georgia. Aside from maybe having a little bit of a quarterback controversy, Georgia's defense is as solid as we've seen any team in the country right now.
Maybe the best in the country.
Maybe the best in the country.
They're clearly, their defense is on fire. Offensively, not so much. But you can't discount that. They can put it. It's only week 3. They can put it together and do something for sure.
I think Florida's a dangerous team. Don't get me wrong, Hanger. But the biggest
Chopper. Wait, no, I'm Hanger.
No, you're Hanger. You don't even know your own name.
I don't even know my own name.
I think Florida's going to have, and Florida's going to take out what happened to them this weekend against Tennessee, and I'm going to watch every bit of it, cuss the whole time. But that's okay. That's the SEC. I think another team you have to watch, and I know they're up there, is Oregon, and I think Oregon has a clear path.
They're going to be in the top 4.
They should be,
unless
they make a mistake and get beat by a USC or a Washington.
UCLA maybe, but they're not looking that good.
UCLA is not looking as good as they were, so I don't know. Just my opinions.
So, Ripper,
Yes,
he
sir.
just dissed on your Ohio State Buckeyes.
How did he diss on the Ohio State Buckeyes?
He said maybe Ripper might disagree with me. That son of a bitch. That's what he said.
I said Penn State's going to go into Columbus and probably beat Ohio State.
So
I'm just trying to start some controversy.
Right
maybe.
now, no controversy.
Best team in college football.
Honestly, I think the Oregon win over Ohio State ballooned Oregon and made them look a little better than they really are.
I would agree with that.
Ohio State's defense is atrocious right
They've
now.
got to
They gave
step
up
up.
over 500 yards in total offense to Tulsa. Frickin' Tulsa. So when I look at the best team, rankings-wise, and just, being able to really tell, it's too early to say. But I do have a few thoughts on the subject.
No, you don't really.
I said
do.
week 5. Remember, you're asking for it in week 3. You're asking prematurely.
I mean, the Alabama had a tough game in the swamp, correct?
They did, yes.
Now, Alabama, they've had those problems before where they maybe struggled a little bit defensively, but as the season progresses, they put everything together. And the guy calling the shots behind the center right now is just a smooth cat right now. Bryce Young, I believe.
Yep.
Just looking really good. Oregon, I think, is currently overrated. Ohio State at 10 is way overrated until we can figure out what we're going to do on defense, where we're going to have our coaches standing, and who's calling plays. Our offense is going to be fine. I'll get into Ohio State a little bit later. But one thing I do want to bring up is some teams maybe that are being overlooked.
Nobody said Oklahoma at all.
Well, yeah, they're kind of trickling off. I think it's still soon, but one team that really I think is, because of probably the last 10, 15 years, is being overlooked, is that team up north, Michigan. Excuse me, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. But Michigan's averaging over 350 yards on the ground. They're in the top 5 in points scored per game and the top 5 in points given up per game. They got like the 3rd highest rusher in the league right now, in the country. So,
were you guys
having
drinking heavy before you got here?
No.
I know. About Michigan? What's wrong with him?
I don't know what he's doing.
This is really strange.
This is
I don't like it.
for me too.
I don't like it. I don't like saying this, but I'm a purist when it comes to college football, and I hate what I'm saying right now, but I think they're probably a top 12 team at minimum right now. Now, when I look in the Big Ten, I also see Penn State and Iowa both have 2 quality wins against ranked teams. Iowa's got to win against the top 10 team in Iowa State. So maybe they were no, they were a top 10 team at the time.
They were, they were like ranked 8th.
So right now, I'm going to say Alabama is the top team.
Okay.
They do have some issues, but they always seem to kind of get those figured out. However, they got some real tests ahead of them. Iron Bowl's not going to be easy this year.
Iron Bowl's not going to be
A&M's
easy.
not going to be easy. I don't know if they play Arkansas or
That
not.
Tennessee
but
game's gonna be
Arkansas
really tough.
is a much improved team in the SEC. But right now, I'll say Alabama is, but there are a lot of teams waiting in the wings. Go ahead and take that crown from them this year.
Alabama has a hard road to get to winning the SEC.
Oh, yeah.
They have Arkansas, which, they might be overrated. They haven't really played anyone tough. Texas is not tough, right?
They play Ole Miss this year.
No, they have not yet. So
They will, right?
Yeah, they will, yeah. So, yeah, they're going to play everyone in the West. So you got Texas, they got to play, Alabama's got to play Arkansas, Texas A&M, Auburn, and Mississippi and Mississippi State, those 5. Plus they got to play Tennessee, but that's a layup.
And right now, after 3 weeks, Ole Miss is leading the country in points per game and total yardage per game. So they're going to have opportunities that we've seen so far against that Alabama defense.
Matt Corral's a great quarterback. He throws interceptions. I don't know if he had any last week, but as of 2 weeks ago, he hadn't had any yet. But I don't know what this hype is about Lane Kiffin in the first place, but that's my opinion. I posted about it on the Facebook group today because I was just like, I'm looking at other Facebook groups that I'm members of, and people just love this guy. They think he's the guy. And he had a 5-5 season last year at Ole Miss, and he has 3 crappy wins this year so far. That dude.
But again, his team is averaging over 625 yards a game.
He's got a great quarterback. He's probably got. I think they run 7 receivers sometimes.
Now you can't deny the offensive mind that is Lane Kiffin. Do I think he's a total package for a head coach? Probably not, because their defense always sucks.
Yeah.
But, realistically, what did USC do when he was there as the offensive coordinator? Now, I'm not going to get into Tennessee because that's a sore subject.
I don't like to talk about him, so you guys can chat about this.
I know. I understand your
All right,
bias.
we'll get off that subject then.
You guys talk about your
All right, you grab me another beer, my man. All right, so I think that Michigan really can win the Big Ten. The way that they're playing right now, they got to beat Penn State.
And that's going to be a hell of a game.
That's going to be a hell of a game. They have to beat Ohio, obviously. That's
going to be the game. But here's the thing with Michigan the last few years, they've had some pretty decent seasons, 9-10 wins, and then they either go to Columbus or Ohio State goes up to Ann Arbor, and they kind of get destroyed.
Yeah.
Can they keep it together for a whole season? Can they not slip up? Can they pass the test?
Yep.
Right now, they're passing the eye test.
Too, they better be awake this weekend because Rutgers could slip up on them too. That's
Rutgers is a vastly improved team right now.
Yeah, so I would say that's probably true as well, because you never know about Rutgers. They're a team that can throw an upset your way pretty quick, and that's something they got to watch out for sure. But I think Michigan. I don't doubt that they have a good team this year, and they might have the normal slip-ups that they have. But the way they've been playing, I'm thinking they are the real deal right now.
And again, I still think it's too early to see, but they're trending in the right direction, definitely.
Yeah.
Ohio State kind of looks like the Michigan of old, where they're kind of hanging around and maybe lose a close game that they shouldn't lose because things are off. I'm hoping Ohio State turns that around this year. There's still plenty of time.
Yeah.
We'll have to, wait week by week to see what happens.
You all got to throw something together on the defensive side of the ball for sure. Let's get back down to the SEC because Alabama can lose a couple games this year. So I'm not.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would say that they're definitely the best team in college football right now, but they can drop pretty quick.
I think Georgia's definitely got the best defense in the SEC.
How
is their offense coming along? JT seems to be a little injured right now. He missed a game. Is he going to be back this weekend? I think so.
I haven't seen any news on that, but I think he will be leading the team. The thing is they have an easier path to get to the SEC championship than they got to play Auburn. They have to play Florida. Those are probably the 2 hardest games outside of Alabama in the SEC. Yeah, and Florida's going to put up a fight just like they did against Alabama. Traditionally, that's a toss-up no matter what. So let's say Georgia loses to Alabama somehow. Say Georgia loses to Georgia loses to Florida. Then Florida wins out. Then they're going to be in the SEC championship. Georgia with 1 loss against Florida.
All right, let's just put 3 teams in the college playoff then.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying, the SEC throws some.
Really?
Yeah, the SEC has had 2 teams in the playoff before because they traditionally will have 2 good teams.
If you were to tell me if you were to ask me and just ask me who my top 4 is right now, it's coming from 2 conferences.
Okay, go. Shoot.
Right now, I'm going Georgia, Alabama. I'm going Iowa, Penn State. Those are my top 4.
Okay, got you. So yeah, I think that's been hashed out, but it's hard to tell. When we started having this conversation, I was asking you guys because I wasn't sure. I don't think there's a clear best team in college football right now.
I think by week 5, week 6, like Brooks is saying, we'll be there.
All right, so let's bring it back up again in 3 weeks, baby. And by then, Sloan will be on the show because he's told me.
Oh, yeah?
You know Sloan?
Yeah, he wants to come to Little Georgia, doesn't he?
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on the show because I think that he's good at putting the numbers together and stuff. He's like very analytically has spreadsheets and crap. He might bust out some spreadsheets on the show. You never know, but he does it for betting reasons, and he'll come in with a lot of good knowledge on stuff. So I've committed him to week 6 or I think something like that, maybe week 7.
Do I have to stay home that day?
Huh? We'll have Sloan against Ripper the Predictor,
baby. Is he taking my seat that day?
No, man. You got a permanent spot on the show at this point, man. You earned it, okay? You earned it. Heisman candidates. So let me go through the top 10 statistical players right now, okay? Matt Corral from Ole Miss, Jake Hanner from Fresno State, Bryce Young from Alabama, Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina, and Brennan Armstrong from Virginia are the top 5 quarterbacks statistically in college football at week 3. And then you got Will Rogers, Mississippi State, Tanner Mordacchio, SMU, then Spencer Rattler, Oklahoma, and then Bailey Zapp and Grant Wells. Who are they? Who knows, right? So you have to be from a decent team in order to get it Heisman. Is that true?
You do. Yeah. Almost have to be the quarterback of the national championship team. Almost, but not quite. So
Ole Miss, we all said that they can. I mean, if they win out, then they could be a national champion team.
If Ole Miss gets to 8 wins, their quarterback could win the Heisman.
With the right numbers, yeah.
I'm not certain, but I think Tim Tebow won the Heisman when Florida went 8-4. You would know that, right?
No, he won the Heisman when they won the national championship.
Was it?
Yeah. 07. That's right. Yeah, they did not win the national championship that year.
Right.
It was 06 and 08.
That
that's
year.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, when we're looking at Mordecai for Ole Miss, he's got 16 touchdown passes already.
Okay. So Bryce Young, Alabama, number 3 statistically.
I'd put him at number 1 right now.
Definitely. Any thoughts on that, Rookie DC?
I agree.
Best player on the top-ranked team right now. What about you? Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
I believe so too. Bryce Young, I think he's number 1 right now. I think too that what's going to come into play, some of the stats may be elevated because of some of their games they played to this point with their competition.
So, for sure. They've played a bunch of cupcakes. Everybody has.
We look at in the 6-7 games and down when the season gets going, and I think we'll really find out who's going to move up toward the Heisman race.
Yeah. Nobody was saying anything about Joe Burrow week 3.
Right.
2 years ago. Nobody was saying anything about him. I don't think he might have been looked at as a possibility by then, but it wasn't until week 9 or 10 when everyone was like,
That's
"Oh
exactly what I'm saying. I think as they move on, the competition gets much stiffer, especially in the SEC with their schedule.
Yep.
And Alabama, they turn it around after the win last week and continue to look up above, head and shoulders above their opponents, and I think he's got a great chance.
Who do you have as your number 1 right now?
I don't know. I thought it was too early. I just want to get y'all's opinion.
Oh, I got like a 4.
Throw me one more out.
All right, so my number 2 right now would probably be Mordecai, the quarterback for Ole Miss. Again, 16 touchdowns in 3 games? That's pretty impressive.
Okay.
My number 3 would be the running back for Michigan. He's 3rd in the country right now, but he's going to get some major exposure to have those highlight reel type of games. Right now, he's averaging 8.5 yards a pop. He's got, I think, five or 6 touchdowns already on the year. No, I take that back. He's got 7 touchdowns. He's had 3 the last 2 games.
Okay.
And then my 4 is going to be a dark horse. It is a little bit of a homer pick. However, if you've got to see him play, he's going to continue to get more and more reps. The only thing that's going to hurt him is if he has to share reps and doesn't get to be that feature back. But Ohio State's Travion Henderson, again, he's a true freshman. I swear,
you think he would get the nod for the Heisman then?
I absolutely believe he will be in New York if he becomes our feature back. and continues to get 20 to 25 carries a game. Last week, he set the Ohio State freshman rushing record for a single game with 277 yards on like 27 carries.
Okay.
Guy's amazing. His first game in college, he took like a screen pass, 70 yards for a touchdown. Nobody was even near him.
Okay.
I think it was third all time in Ohio State.
Yeah,
ever.
third all time in a single game for Ohio State.
Y'all seem a little biased towards Ohio State.
Well, I got him at number 4.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I got him at number 4.
Rookie DC agrees with me. He's nodding over there, but he's got a face full of murder too. So.
But I want you to do yourself a favor. Just watch some Travion Henderson highlights. They're pretty special.
Okay. So Florida has the number 2 rushing offense in the country right now, right? So
Behind who?
is it Ohio State?
No.
I don't know.
Grew up again. I'm pretty sure this is probably Michigan again.
Really?
Yeah,
they're the team up north.
They've had over 350 yards in all three of their games.
So you don't say anything about the team up north?
No, I don't. Team up north.
Bless them.
Lord, man. All right.
I love that. Who's your daddy over there?
Who's your daddy? Everyone's like, what the hell? What in the hell? All right, so
I don't know why your daughter keeps turning around at the bar.
she's keeping an eye on you too, man. She's like, are they making my father upset? So, Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady. Everyone loves the guy or they hate the guy. There's no in between, I don't think. But I'm 43. He's 44. I mean, and he's in better shape than I am. And he's like a year older than me. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but he's showing us up as a bunch of old guys. So what is up with this guy? Talk to me.
All right, I'll jump in
Can
here.
you guys talk about him? Because he played at Michigan, so I'm just making sure.
Hey, I'll jump in there.
Oh, no, he played at from that team up
Team up
north.
north. Yeah,
We can talk about
I'll
it.
jump in
Okay,
here.
I'm just making sure you can.
So,
Tom Brady, man, what's
why
up?
is Tom Brady so successful 20 years into the game, 21 years into the game?
He's sickening, isn't he?
TB12. TB12 is a cult that you cannot join unless you sell your soul to the devil, and that's the only way it's possible to be 44 years old and playing at the level he is. I am not a fan of Tom Brady because he comes from the team up north, but he is undoubtedly the greatest quarterback of all time.
There's no doubt about it.
And I totally agree with Kip, but I am a fan.
Do you agree
You
with
mean
the
Ripper?
whole... Yeah, Ripper. Ripper the predictor.
I agree with the Ripper, except that I'm a fan of Tom Brady. And bottom line, he takes care of his body, unlike we do probably.
TB12.
With the food he eats.
Now,
and
this is
exercise program.
this is a radio show, right? So everyone is picturing in their mind a bunch of really ripped abs on these hot guys.
So who's your daddy?
don't
Do you
tell
agree
him.
that he had to sell his soul to continue this run that he's been on?
I agree that he has really taken care of his body over the years.
Okay.
And still does. And the other day I heard him talking on TV about playing when he's 50, which is unbelievable to me.
Unbelievable. Oh, yeah.
But is it unbelievable?
I don't know, man. I mean, for him, I don't put it past him. He is this TB12
He's
cult,
got a tough
apparently.
game this weekend, doesn't he?
He does. So here's my piece on Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a student of the game. Okay, Tom Brady has the mentality to look and see what a defense is doing, just like Peyton Manning did. He could go out and tell you what every defensive player was going to do before they did it. And Tom Brady can do the same thing. What's going to allow Tom Brady to play until he's 50 is because he'll continue to lower his salary and allow them to put players around him that are better. And that's what he'll do. He'll do it every year until he's 50 if he makes it that long, if he doesn't take a bad shot and get hurt. But he does take care of his body. He's also married to probably arguably the most popular ever Victoria's Secret model there was.
That helps.
And she makes as much, if not more money than he makes. So let me tell you something. When you have all those things together, it's easy to have somebody to cook exactly what you want every single day. To have somebody to make your sports drink that you want on the sideline at every game.
No, wait
those
a minute.
things build in.
I got to interject here. She doesn't cook.
Not her.
They have somebody
You
cook
pay
for
that.
them.
Yeah, you pay. That's when you make that kind of money.
Hey, Rookie DC, what did Tom Brady tell the owner the day he was drafted?
at New England?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. Probably that I'll...
He said that you just made the best decision of your
Probably
life.
did. You know what he said to
As
Drew
a sixth
Bledsoe?
round. I don't. What did he say?
When Drew Bledsoe got hurt and went out, he went up to him and said, "I'll take it from here, big guy." And then when Drew Bledsoe came back the next week, he said, "All right, I'm back." He looked at him and said, "I'm not giving you your job back." And he never did.
Oh, really?
Tom Brady's savage. He's savage no matter
Oh, yeah.
how you want to look at him.
You don't like him?
No, he's fantastic. I'm just saying he's savage. If he looks at you and says, "Hey, Ray, I'm going to smack you in the face with the football," he's going to do it. That's just the way Tom Brady is.
I heard a story about, I think they put, who is the coach for, no. Former Buckeye. Anyhow, he was a lineman, and they put him in a goal line package. And somehow this big lineman got open, and he's waving his arms, in the end zone. He's like, Tom, throw it. And, Tom gave it to somebody else, scored a touchdown. And when they got back to the bench, Tom looked at him and said, "If you ever wave your blanking arms at me again, I will never throw the ball to you. I'm the quarterback. I know who's open. Shut up."
I make the decisions.
Oh, wow.
So what
Yeah.
do you see? Let me ask you this. We're talking about Tom Brady. Let's talk about Tampa Bay for a second. What's the difference in Tampa Bay the first couple games of the season this year?
DC, this is
Versus what
totally
they
off.
looked like last year.
This is totally off script, bro.
It is. But what do you see?
Well, I see a
what we want,
team
right?
that had all 22 starters back.
All 22 starters back, but what is different?
Preseason.
Preseason.
His first year there, they had no preseason games. So, again, just like Cleveland, it took about half the season to get things kind of ironed out.
But what has
And
he
then they
done
took off.
over the past two games that's different from what he didn't do in the first couple games of last
He's
season?
passing like crazy, I know
Well, he was
that.
passing them, but who's he passing the ball to?
Gronk?
Gronk.
Yeah, he didn't do it all
No,
season.
no.
What kind of
not
offense
Gronk.
well, he's,
The Gronk.
Well, but what
The
kind
Gronk.
of offense does Bruce Arians run? He does not throw the
Tom
ball
Brady's
to tight ends.
offense.
But that's what's changed. Tom Brady looked at him this year and said, "Look, Big Papa, just won you a Super Bowl. We're going to run my offense.
Well, and that's kind of
we're
what
gonna
happened
win more
halfway
games."
through the season
And
last
that's
year.
what's happening now. So that's the difference
Yeah.
that you see.
Yeah, Gronk's got 4 touchdowns already.
Exactly. Bruce Arians is smart enough to say, "Okay, Tommy, I'm going to sit back. You take it." And that's what he's done.
And Gronk is leading the NFL in touchdown receptions right
He's
now.
got,
is my
what,
understanding.
4 already?
Yeah.
And he'll probably get more, although he has a tough matchup for a tight end situation for this weekend.
And when we're talking about the GOAT savageness, who said that, the head coach even had a choice? I don't think he was smart enough. I don't think he had a choice to make a decision on what that offense was going to be doing. Tom Brady got in there, got comfortable. It's his team now.
It's his team.
It's not Bruce Arians.
That's good, though. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing.
And that should answer all those debates about Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Bill Belichick's a hell of a coach. Bill Belichick would not have all of those rings without Tom Brady.
I was listening to an interview of Tom Brady this week. I think it was on Sirius XM somewhere. And Bill Belichick said, "Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's doing great down there," and da-da-da, right? And Tom Brady was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a great compliment, thanks." But Bill Belichick, you can tell, I mean, he's not a man of many words in the first place, but you can tell he had a little bit of animosity against Tom Brady for some reason, a guy that he coached for 20 years, right? So,
And you got to think about it. New England, Robert Kraft didn't give enough money to the right players. But the last couple of years, Tom Brady's running for his life. Would you want to do that when you're 42 years old? I
No.
wouldn't. So I would leave too. I don't blame him.
and he said that. He said one of the reasons why he left New England is because the team was not built around where he was at his age and where he wanted to be.
Well,
Tampa
and-
Bay's the closest thing to a retirement football team you can get in the NFL.
And he's got an awesome house.
yeah.
I mean, you talk about a lake house, that guy's got a bay house, Tampa Bay, man, that thing's beautiful.
Well, and again, just to pour salt into the wound again, in 2 weeks, Tampa Bay plays in New England in Foxborough,
That'd be
and
nasty.
that is when Tom Brady is on pace to break the all-time passing yardage record
Do you think that
in Foxborough with a different team.
Do you think everyone in Foxborough is going there to root for Tom Brady?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
yeah, I have family. I'm from New England, so I've been a New England
Sorry.
fan all my life, and
So you're a Tom Brady fan.
I'm a Tom Brady fan. And but I grew up in Florida. I grew up in Florida as well.
So you're a Tim Tebow fan.
I was so
Tampa Bay fan. Yeah,
but I was a
like that.
Tampa Bay
What's the other
fan
one?
only out of necessity back then. But now I love Tom Brady, man.
Tampa Brady.
But my cousin, he still lives in New England. He's a New England fan, and he is totally a Tampa Bay fan right now as well.
Is it hard for you to root for sports with all of these Super Bowl rings and national championships?
Well, I was a New England fan in the '90s, and there wasn't anything going on then. So, like, they sucked through the '90s. The Super Bowl in 1986 or something.
And then you went in '95, I think, also.
Yeah, but they were not like that good back then. Whereas once Tom Brady took over, I mean, they were on fire. And it's been good being a New England fan, but I wasn't bandwagon.
Go Browns.
Go Browns! So, college football this week. Tennessee is playing Florida. Rookie DC, talk to me.
Hey guys, stop fighting. Stop fighting.
What would you like me to say? You guys are light years better than we are. I will say that in a game like this, you have to be careful not to overlook Tennessee because things could start clicking. And if they start clicking and one thing goes wrong, it's kind of like Shane Falco said, quicksand. You try to do something, you fight back, and it goes the wrong way again. A game like that can happen, and Tennessee is known to upset big teams. We've done it to Georgia in years when we should have not been in a football game. So I'm not going to say we're completely not in the game, but we're not completely in the game. I mean,
it's in the swamp as well.
It's in the swamp. It's going to be a tough game, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to text you and send you the middle finger emoji a few times and whatever I got to do. But, yes, we're going to lose that football game, but I hope it's at least close. I hope it's fun to watch.
Well, swing on by the crib, man. I'll be there watching the game, too.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about the game, but yeah, like you said, it could click. Florida can look like crap. You never know. I mean, it's hit or miss. I never have confidence in Florida when they play Tennessee. That's just me. But we won't talk much more about that game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Notre Dame versus Wisconsin. Number 12 Notre Dame
number 18
versus number 18 Wisconsin. Is Wisconsin underrated?
Wisconsin is underrated, and they're also the favorite to win that game by 4.5 points. So I think Notre Dame finally gets exposed this weekend. I think they go down.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that that's going to happen as well. Wisconsin has a solid team, and Notre Dame's been having a struggle this year. Struggle. Now, last week they kind of put things together, but I mean, I think it's a little too late. Brian Kelly's going to lose, and then he's going to have to figure out how to put up some points and stop people on defense and the whole 9 yards that they're not doing. But you are all Big Ten there. Who's your daddy? What do you think about that game?
I'll tell you, I had the line and it could have moved to 5.5.
5.5, yeah. It was 4.5 when I got here.
Wisconsin, yeah, and it's probably moved down. The game is in Chicago. I gotta believe. I really think Wisconsin will win the game, but I think Notre Dame will cover the spread.
Yeah.
In that game, I think it's going to be a close scoring affair, like 23-21.
Okay.
But being in the Big Ten, I'm not a Notre Dame fan. Never have been one. And playing in Indiana had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I do like Wisconsin, and I agree they're one of those teams that's probably underrated at this point. And I look for them to get a W this week.
I think that they probably will. We'll see what happens. So we were talking about Notre Dame, Wisconsin there. What do you think about it there, Ripper the Predictor?
I think it's a...
Predict for me, Brock.
This is in Wisconsin?
This is in Wisconsin.
No, this is in Chicago, neutral site.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so Jack Cohn, Notre Dame...
Soldier Field in Chicago.
Yeah, Jack Cohn's is Notre Dame's quarterback. And, I mean, he transferred from Wisconsin.
No, he did, yeah.
Yeah.
So he knows everything they're doing over
there. I mean, this is tough. Who did I pick in the thing? I think I picked Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm going to pick this, but it's going to be a close game. I'll stick with Notre Dame just because of Brian Kelly.
Okay.
But I think Wisconsin's defense is going to make it pretty hard on them because, again, you got to think that Wisconsin defense, not only does Jack Cohn know Wisconsin, Wisconsin knows Jack Cohn.
Gotcha.
So this is going to be a pretty tough out. It should be a fun game to watch. I'm going to stay with Notre Dame, though, pulling out the win in Chicago.
Let's stick with the Big Ten for a second and go with Michigan State number 20 versus Nebraska. Nebraska played good football last week against Oklahoma, right? So they're saying Nebraska might come out and win this game. Who knows? I mean, that's a toss-up. Does anyone agree with me?
I think it's a toss-up. I think really it's going to be Michigan State's rushing attack against Adrian Martinez. If Adrian Martinez can, he's going to be able to move the ball with his legs. If he can have some success throwing the ball over the top, then Nebraska's got a chance to go ahead and take them off and probably get to 3-2 and salvage, Frost probably career potentially.
Yeah. So defensively, they were pretty decent against Oklahoma last week. You got Spencer Rattler, who's like a pretty dynamic quarterback on Oklahoma, and they slowed him down quite a bit. So, do you have anything to say about this game?
I don't know why, but I really like Michigan State. I think they're one of those teams too that I think they've superseded what people's expectations were at this point in time this season. Now, whether they will sustain that or not, and then I'm not big on Nebraska due to the way they started out the year.
Yeah, losing to Illinois, that was bad.
And Illinois lost a game, I know, at least one, that's made them look bad. So I think Michigan State, I'm not sure what the line is on that game, but I'm looking for Michigan State
to win that game?
Yes.
Rookie DC, your thoughts?
So I picked Michigan State to upset Miami at Miami last week. I believe in Michigan State's program. I think they were quiet coming in, and they let their football show who they are. I think Michigan State takes care of Nebraska, and I think they'll do it in a good fashion.
Are you a fan or what?
I'm not a fan of Michigan State. Michigan State, they're quietly good at football. They're quietly good at basketball every year. That's what they do. So they're to me, they are definitely a sleeper football team you have to worry about.
I will be sitting on my couch at 7 p.m. watching that game.
Well, we got 3 to watch at 7 p.m. You got mine and yours.
Yes.
You got the Michigan State, and then we also got to keep an eye on South Carolina and Kentucky.
Hey,
Good
Ohio
Lord.
State plays at 7:30. Don't forget about that. Travion Henderson.
So we have 3 games to watch.
Why don't we stick with Big Ten on this and go with Ohio State, because they're playing Akron, which is like nobody worth even talking about. But talk to me about some of the events that are going on.
All right, so there's 2 things to consider. Ohio State is horrible against the spread. They just gave them like 50 points.
I agree with that. They've cost me money all year.
I mean, really, it's just awful against the spread. Defense is awful. This is the chance of probably the only chance this year they will have to probably beat the spread. Because it's Akron, they're an awful team. I get it.
What's the spread?
49.5. That's a lot.
I'll take Akron.
You should. You should. But here's the thing.
With Ohio State not having a quarterback?
C.J. Stroud is out this week.
He's hurt. Yeah.
He's resting his shoulder. So it's probably going to be Kyle McCord, a true freshman. And honestly,
he may come out and be better than C.J. Stroud.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. 5-star quarterback.
Yeah.
Watched him in the spring game. He had the best numbers of our 3 quarterbacks at the time that we had.
You think he's going to Tom Brady C.J. Stroud?
He's
going to go out and put up 50
No,
points
honestly,
and be like,
what
I'm
I think is
going to
happen is Ryan Day is in love with C.J. Stroud. And I think it's going to cause kind of a predicament. If C.J. Stroud sits for 2 weeks, and then McCord, and again, I'm not even sure, it could be Jack Miller, who's a redshirt freshman, who's been in the program a little longer. But I think it's going to be Kyle McCord. If C.J. Stroud sits for 2 weeks in preparation for, a bigger game in the Big Ten other than Rutgers, he's going to have a tough decision on his hands. I think McCord's going to be better at getting the ball to the playmakers, and that's really all we need in Ohio State is just to get the ball to...
Is he trying to make this an Ohio State show?
He's trying.
You asked me about Ohio State.
Yeah, but you can only do 2 minutes on this, and that's it.
Hey, who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? We cannot
Daddy
talk.
does all that
OH.
with the IO.
That's right.
But
We can't talk Ohio State the entire show.
with the change
This is
in
an
Don't
quarterbacks,
bring it up.
with the change in quarterbacks, look out for the transfer portal.
Oh my gosh!
What's
All
going to
right.
happen?
Oh, yeah.
Number
really?
7. Number 7 Texas A&M versus number 16 Arkansas. Is Arkansas the real deal this year? Because I posted this on Guys in the Brotherhood Sports Facebook group, and everybody's like, you know,
I would say 80%
Hogs
of
and
the
all this
people pick
crap.
the Hogs, right?
Everyone's like
everybody
Hogs,
loves
facts.
upset.
I'm not believing the hype. I will say this is going to be a close one, but I got Texas A&M 20-17.
They beat some crappy teams. They beat Texas and they beat 2 layups.
Well, but they've been in a couple of, what they had the Colorado game, they had a tough game with, so they've seen adversity, and I think that's going to help them beat Arkansas.
And again, the line could have changed. It was 5.5 when I looked at it, but I think I agree with you. I think Texas A&M will win. I think Arkansas will cover the spread.
I think so too.
I'm going Hogs 24-21.
Hogs.
What is
Hogs
it?
are the upset.
Pig suey, is that what they say? Or?
Big Suey.
Yeah.
It's a game, I'll tell you what, we're going to find out who's real.
Who's real that week? Yeah.
I know. And unfortunately, I won't be watching the game because I'll be up in Charlotte at an art exhibit, the Van Gogh exhibit with my beautiful, darling wife over there, Mrs. Ripper. Love you,
Miss
babe.
Ripper! Miss Ripper! Woo! All right.
This guy just lost his man card. We're moving
He
on.
totally just lost his man
She's
card.
in the bar, guys.
Listen,
in the bar.
College
wait a
football
minute.
comes before women, okay? Just like bros before it's shows before hoes when it comes to the show as well. So if you ever
We can't
back
use
out
that
because
word.
of your wife,
You know you just called Who's Your Daddy's daughter hoe.
whoops.
No.
And there it is.
What I was going
No.
to say is that she's my daughter, but I didn't know it was scripted part of the show.
It shows before hoes every time, okay? So, but
All right. We're about to have some words, so let's move on to the next topic of discussion, if we would.
all right. I think Jimbo Fisher's
Before I
going
have
to
to
pull it
defend
off.
my wife's honor in front of her father.
Clemson versus NC State is the last football game we're going to talk about. Clemson, number 9. They've been struggling. They're undefeated. No, they're not undefeated.
not
Sorry, they lost to Georgia.
What's up
What
with
am I
TJ
losing my mind?
Ukulele?
Yeah, he sucks. I hate to say
Ukulele
it.
or something like that?
Yeah, DJ, or is it TJ or DJ? DJ,
DJ.
right? We just call him DJ on the show because we don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I think it's ukulele.
Game
Yeah,
is at
something like
NC
that.
State, 10.5-point spread.
Wolfpack, what?
I'd take the Wolfpack. In that
I'm taking the
points.
Wolfpack on
I'm
that.
taking the points. Not straight up the points.
Right.
I'm taking the Wolfpack as a win. But
I'll be the only person that said I think Clemson gets it together this week. I think they win.
you think Clemson wins?
No, you're not the only one. I'm going with the running back, freshman out of North Carolina. I think he's going to have a big game.
I think Clemson wins. I don't think they cover the 10.5 points.
Yeah, they haven't covered any spread at all this year, so definitely don't bet on them to cover.
Yeah, I'm going 42-10
We
Clemson.
sound like a betting show now.
We
Yeah.
are definitely. Well, I have people trying to get me to be a what's it called? The fake football. Shit, what's it called? I don't even know what it's called because I don't do it. But where you pick all the.
DraftKings?
I'll do the pick'ems and off the spreads and everything. And
No, I can't think of it because I'm losing my mind tonight. But yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. When I say shows before hoes, it's like it's over with at that point, you know? Because my wife would kill me if she heard me say that.
Yeah, well, what do you think my wife's going to think when she listens
I'll
to
make
this?
sure she
Because she
listens to the
does
show.
every
We're all
week.
giving our man card away as we speak.
I still have mine just fine.
And G Boogie, he's gonna open the show.
All right, jump in. You're
G Boogie's gonna open the show and close the show tonight. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We've been going a little long. Our listenership, I mean, up to about the 44-minute mark, they listen hardcore. But at 44 minutes and 30 seconds, they kind of like
You
shut
lost
down.
him at...
All right, I'm gonna drop
Judge
off
for
with one
us.
comment because on your Facebook thread you talked about the Arkansas game.
Yeah.
And I was amazed at how many people are picking the Razorbacks for that game. So how do y'all feel? 'Cause
Everybody, we just covered that. Everybody
Oh, yeah?
loves the upset, though. Everybody likes that underdog
I
story.
don't-
So
That's
everyone's
what it is.
hoping. So they're trying to, what they're trying to do on the show.
I think the Aggies going to win. I mean, I don't think they're going to win by much, but I think they're going to
Well,
win.
5.5. 5.5 is the
Hey,
spread.
hey,
yeah.
I took Arkansas.
It's
I
no,
think
it's still
Texas will
recording.
win.
Scream it out, War Eagle.
21.
I don't think they're going to cover
What
the spread.
is a War Eagle?
I
Go
think
Gators.
Aggies win by about 7
I don't
to
even
10.
know what it is.
7 to
I
10.
don't know.
All right.
I'm not.
Go Gators! I love Tim Tebow.
Hey, is there another one?
Hey, that is
Hey, you probably
that is
won't
Miss
come around
Hanger
right now.
herself.
Hey,
The first time she's been on the
Dynamic,
show.
right? He's
Don't say it.
dynamic.
Don't say it.
It's shows before hoes, honey. It's shows before hoes.
So second in line is I love Emery Jones. Second.
Do y'all close your show with a shot? Should we be doing a
We should always close the show with a shot.
We should start doing that. So.
That's what we're gonna do next time.
Next time, because I know you're over today. Next time we close the show with a shot.
So this is Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, and we're out. Woo!
Hey.
I know what you're thinking. Man, that was an amazing show. You know what you do then? You subscribe to the show. By subscribing, you'll be able to hear the show next week and every show that we come out with from here on out. And then if you really like the show, the thing that you can do is you give it a 5-star rating and review. Whatever podcast you listen to, see if you can give it a 5-star rating and review. I know you can do it on Apple iTunes. And then you know what you do? You come on back next week to hear Guys at the Bar Talking Sports.